Welcome back to Cinemavino. It's good to have you guys here with us.
Yeah. Hey.
We got Taylor Owens, Sean Jordan.
Hi.
Travis Budd.
It's your boy.
And a mystery guest to my left who shall remain unnamed. And my name's Todd.
You can name me.
This is Chi. Chi is with us.
Hello.
So yeah, we're going to do a new series of Halloween movies. And our first installment is going to be The Faculty. And this, Travis, is your pick?
Yes.
What made you pick this movie?
It had been on my list for quite a while, and honestly, it had been a really long time since I had seen it.
Same. Yeah. And we're going to do a whole month of whiskeys of the world. And so this week we're going to start with Natterjack Irish whiskey. So I haven't had an Irish whiskey in a long time. It's got a good looking picture of a toad on it.
Toady.
It is 40%, 80 proof. I would say this is a very smooth, kind of a lighter bodied, easy honey, kind of lightly nutty flavored whiskey. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah. I smelled it like I thought it was a wine and it was just all heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I tasted it. It was good. It was Irish whiskey has a little bit of sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that like honey.
It could be a good hot toddy.
Oh, yeah.
This would make a great hot toddy.
It would.
Yeah, because this
would.
This is like a middle of the road.
It is.
Ish.
Innocuous is how I would describe this.
Sure.
In a fancy word. So what's your guys' recipe for a hot toddy? Everybody's got something different. How do you make it? Because we're coming into that season of...
I'll be honest, I don't drink hot toddies.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
I'm
either.
gonna say just pour it down the drain.
I've had one, and really all it did, the heat of it.
It's like it's tea, whiskey,
honey.
honey, and lemon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people have variations that they'll put other stuff in there as well, like agave.
Yeah.
They have other stuff that's supposed to open you up a little bit.
Yeah, it can be nice if like you're sick, if
Mhm.
you're under the weather and you still want to get freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is my default position from about October until about April. It's just
Sinus
Freaky.
infection, but
Lightly
still want to
sick
get
and-
drunk.
And freaky.
lightly sick and freaky.
You have three kids too, which helps
Yeah.
being sick all the time.
Man, yeah. And I think fatigue to the point of being freaky.
Well, the alcohol helps stretch the antibiotics,
It's true.
That's science.
Is that it, like longer duration?
Yeah, you just got to take more of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, more antibiotics or more booze?
Probably both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
They cancel each other out.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep doing more.
I just get all those ingredients separately.
Yeah.
All together.
I just take a little bit of scotch and I just drop in an airborne.
Yeah.
There you go. That's how you
There
do
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The effervescent one. You got to make sure it
Yeah.
fits.
So you get a good mix of peat and vitamin C.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Most doctors will prescribe that.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
gotta make
the,
sure
the
it's-
good ones.
Got to make sure it's the space side.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
The peatier, the better. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about The Faculty. This was released December 25th, Christmas Day, 1998. One day after my birthday, by the way.
Oh,
So,
happy birthday.
and then somebody else has a birthday on December 25th, but
Who?
yeah, exactly.
Santa Claus. Wait, Jesus.
It's Krampus. But yeah, this was our Christmas present, 1998. So hope you guys enjoyed it. This was directed by Robert Rodriguez, who directed another movie we've done, From Dusk Till Dawn. So there's that.
Oh,
And
damn it. I didn't read your notes.
yeah, I got him over here safe and sound.
So we're gonna do two Robert Rodriguez.
And then, yeah, we got another one coming up of Planet Terror
Nice.
for Halloween. This is written by Kevin Williamson, who did Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. This grossed $63 million against a $15 million budget.
Damn.
15 million seems high.
It does.
For the movie I watched.
I bet a lot of it was a soundtrack. I bet a lot of that.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of that went Pink Floyd for that song. So this is an ensemble of future stars and kind of contemporary people who you'd recognize, not big name actors, but recognizable people.
Like that guy.
Yeah.
Jon Stewart.
And a young goateed Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He looked good.
Yeah. I mean, this is pre-gray, So, but yeah, you got Jordana Brewster.
9/11 did a number on him.
Yeah. And I think just 15 years of running the show also will do it. Yeah, you got Jordana Brewster, Elijah Wood, Josh Hartnett, Clea Duvall, Famke Janssen, Robert Patrick, Bebe Neuwirth, Salma Hayek, and
Usher.
And Ursher.
Ursher?
Can't forget about Ursher. Yeah. Yeah, it's a heck of a cast.
Was
Lilith from Cheers is in this. Yeah,
was it before or after he was Usher?
I think this was in the process of him becoming.
Yeah, this is the transitional phase.
Did you mention Famke Janssen?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was like when Drake was on Degrassi.
Yeah, it was kind of in that same time period. Yeah, but I mean,
Danny Masterson and Shooter McGavin
yeah.
in this.
And did
from
you
McDonald's?
see the kid from the nose grabbing kid from Dazed and Confused popped up
did.
briefly,
Yep.
just for a split second? I'm
Yeah.
sure his number one direction from Rodriguez was do not grab your nose
Yeah.
once in this movie.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, get your hand down. Don't do it. So to me, this plot is a hybrid of like Body Snatchers, Thing, Scream. It even has a little bit of zombie elements to it. But yeah, the synopsis is real quick. It's like small town high school, strange things start happening to the faculty. The coaches, teachers begin to show signs of being controlled by some kind of parasitic alien, and they are becoming intent on killing or possessing every human on Earth, controlling the planet. So you get your cliched misfits who are Earth's last line of defense. And I will say this for Kevin Williamson, he makes a very strong effort to kind of flip the cliches a little bit. So for example, like the stoner kid is also like a genius, Mr. Fantastic level genius of science, who can like put stuff under a microscope and figure it out instantly. Kind of weird.
He knows his protozoa.
With no explanation of why.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No, just no exposition.
It's like he cooks drugs and he's got an IQ of like 200. And yeah, it's just there.
Oh, he's redoing his senior year because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
He's got weird wingtip hair that it just always bothered me.
That was a thing back then.
It was unwashed.
Teenager,
Yeah.
get yourself a fucking comb.
It's like I remember they had those like kind of glue stick looking things that kids would buy and like run it through their hair to make it look like they just got out of bed. That was the thing. So there's that.
He was Jim Halpert before Jim Halpert was Jim Halpert.
Yeah, exactly.
I always confuse him with, when I look back at this movie, I always think it's Matthew Lillard, but it's not. It's him.
Yeah, from Scream.
Yeah. From Scooby-Doo. Excuse me.
Please.
Right now it's October.
You're
That's Scream. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what?
Actually,
Yeah.
It is
Scooby-Doo.
October.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, yeah, basically you get the angry emo girl, the meek virgin, the clever nerd, the hot girl, the surly jock. And yeah, they all come together to fight aliens.
Surly Jock, who also subverts expectation,
Exactly.
wants to be a scholar.
Wants to be something more.
Yeah.
It's a little bit crazy. The hot girl has a thing for the nerd. It's like there's lots of like little weird twists on the cliches that he's going out of his way. So, had you guys seen this before?
Yes.
Had everybody seen this before?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll be curious to think what your opinion's going back to it now. So, Trav, this is your pick, so we kind of have to start with you.
Fucking A. I think I only have one thing in my notes from it. Oh, yeah. And that's at the very beginning, they have Robert Patrick doing like the over the shoulder look as somebody approaches them, and then they immediately fade to black. And I was like, oh, that's the fucking thing. Where the dog is walking down the hallway and all you see is the silhouette of somebody in their room, and the dog walks in and then the silhouette turns around and then it fades to black. You're like, what the fuck happened there? What was that? So yeah, it starts out with like nods there. And then I never realized it was Robert Rodriguez until I watched it this time. And I could see, I saw Tito and Tarantula like written on the bathroom stall, and they're the band that's in Desperado and From Dusk Till Dawn.
Wow.
There you
I
go.
was like, fuck yes, I love that nod. And then I was like, oh, Robert Rodriguez, this makes sense now. But I also loved Clea Duvall in this, talking about how she's a science fiction nerd, and she's talking about Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which I had never seen when I watched this the first time, and how it's like a rip off of some other movie, The Puppet Masters. And I was like, oh shit, I understand that reference now, now that I've seen all those movies. So I actually enjoyed this on another level than when I did as a high schooler. I really liked Clea Duvall in this. This is, I think, the first thing I ever saw her in. I can't see Elijah Wood, though, now. Anything other than Frodo.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is Frodo doing in high school? This is weird.
That is his curse. That is his curse.
He's so
It's
little.
retroactively changed how I see all of his roles now.
Yeah.
let's see, Josh Hartnett. This was one of his like first vehicles, and they were like, setting him up to be the next big heartthrob, and he was for a while. And then, like in 2002, he just like pieced out. He was like tired of Hollywood.
He's kind of back around.
Did a number on him.
Yeah,
he did. He's doing a.
I don't want to blame.
I want to see how many times can you say that in the next 2 podcasts that we do.
Like I said, I don't want to blame 9/11,
but it certainly didn't.
It certainly didn't help.
Yeah.
But this was. I remember this was like the first thing. This was 98. Famke Janssen was also on the rise. Like he had this little
X-Men, right?
Yeah, this was right before X-Men, and then that's where like she was already. When was GoldenEye?
95.
Okay, yeah,
that was like her first real big thing.
So when they were like, "Yeah, she's going to be Jean Grey," I was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen her in like 2 movies," but she also, after X-Men, didn't do much. It just, a lot of good actors with potential. Hollywood did a number on it.
9/11 did a number on her.
It's tough times. I will say this movie, like with Josh Hartnett and Famke Janssen, it's like they really tried hard to give like attractive people ugly haircuts.
Yeah.
Put her in glasses.
Yeah. I mean, it's like her haircut was like, go to a stylist and just fuck me up.
And they did the reverse for Jordana Brewster. Like, she leaves, she's the cheerleader, heartthrob, or whatever, journalist. And then she comes back and, I'm incognito. I've got a ponytail and glasses.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Can't see me. Jon Stewart and Salma Hayek were way underused. But fucking Robert Patrick as the creepy ass coach, fucking loved him.
Perfect cast.
I just remember watching this and when you pick out all the moments from a trailer that you've seen, one was like when Usher like knocks this dude like in the football game, like hits this dude so hard, and then the fireworks are going off behind him. But as soon as he does that, it goes back to Robert Patrick on the sidelines, and he's just going, he's just got this crazy fucking face. Honestly, Robert Patrick was my favorite in this. Like he got the best role.
Yeah.
Like he never got to emote in Terminator 2, and like this is where he got to shine.
Yeah.
So I really like this. It is a weird zombie film in high school. That's all it is to me. That they've started with the authority, and the kids are like, why won't any of the adults believe me? It's perfect. I love it. I love it even more now than I did as a kid. I just remembered this being good, but it was better than I remembered it.
Yeah.
So I think I got to give it a solid 7.
Yeah. It's definitely a play on the like teenage need to fit in throughout here, like trying to rope the other kids into it. Like, when the jock is up against the wall of the building, like through the windows, like, it's great. You just fit right in, and like, everything, all your cares fade away. It's like that need to like that peer pressure. It's definitely an interesting allegory for like teenage peer pressure and fitting in, and also all these kids deal with some sort of alienation in a way.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's the other thing, is like the aliens bring that sort of collective hive mentality.
And it does, obviously, the special effects are dated in this now. But even at the
Honestly, they did not look terrible.
It wasn't.
I wouldn't offend it, but
there was
if you know what the movie is.
Yeah.
But at the end, the whole Elijah Wood getting the alien trapped, I was like, that's Terminator. That's the first Terminator, where it's like crawling through, about to get her, and then all of a sudden it crushes it. I was like, all right. I mean, if it's an homage, I love it.
Yeah, but, it could be.
Yeah, the aliens look cool. They're neat.
I agree.
I'm good. So if it's a Alien or Halloween movie, it gets an extra 0.5 bump to like 7.5.
Okay, nice. Sean, and when did you first see this?
I first saw this in college. Just kind of working my way through horror movies. It's fine. It's not my cup of tea, just in the sense of like what type of horror movies I like to watch. I think it does do a lot of trying to subvert expectations, trying to do a lot of like playing on the tropes. Like you said, they have like that set cast of like, they've got the jock, they've got the slacker. Like it really like plays into those archetypes, and then it immediately subverts all of those characters to show more depth. It is a very common thing of like being a high school reject, and you're the one who can't like blah, 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 and everything's hard and life is hard, but you have the MacGuffin. You have the thing that can solve it. Like you have a computer in 1998. That's how you're smart.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a different movie trope.
Mm-hmm. So
like seeing, jocks aren't the ones writing movies, right? It's the nerds writing themselves in like hero positions. But it's good. It's a good classic horror of like you said, it kind of plays on that like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It is Robert Rodriguez's like homage to those other movies and to like the other the movies that came before it. It is very much like a 1950s idea of horror, is like those themes. It was very much like, because in the 1950s, there was the whole Red Scare, and that played into a lot of horror movies and a lot of themes of like some invading force coming in, and like, it's an allegory for communism.
Yeah.
An invading force coming in and infiltrating all these people and assimilating them into this collective that you have to fight against. And that was the big undercurrent in the 50s that drove a lot of that horror. The Thing in the 70s,
early 80s,
early 80s,
82, I think.
Yeah.
The movie.
82, yeah. Is different because that's more of like an isolation type of horror.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of those same things. But I thought it's a good homage to those movies. Robert Rodriguez is one of those guys that like very much has like he's like Quentin Tarantino in that he loves a lot of movies and does a lot of his movies to homage those other movies, or does a lot of stuff to pay respect to those other movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of like self-referential stuff
and winking to your audience.
Yeah, it's very, very self-aware.
Yeah.
But as horror goes, I mean, at no point was I watching this movie like, what's going to happen? The effects are fine. Honestly, they aged pretty well for 98.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't hate it. No, $15 million budget, great cast.
Was the exterior of the high school, I was just thinking about this. Is it the same one that they used for Scream, and then that like a Scary Movie used parodying Scream? Like, I feel like the inside of the high school was pretty shitty and different, but like
it was a shitty high school.
Yeah,
it was really bad shape.
But the outside of it, I was like, I think this is like outside of every high school I've ever seen. Like, it looks like Scream, looks like Scary Movie,
and they may have a set that they use for that.
Yeah, just generic like high school.
It's like Warner Brothers has a New York street on there.
Oh yeah,
they used it for Seinfeld. They used it for Friends. They would redress it with different signs, but that's their New York set.
But I read a little bit of the other book that Clea Duvall's character was talking about. Like, she said Invasion of the Body Snatchers was based on a Robert Heinlein story called Puppet Masters. Mm-hmm. So I was like, Puppet Masters, what the fuck is that? So I started reading it, and it is
the Metallica album
based off. Yes, of course, it is based off of the second Red Scare. And communism. Yeah.
The second Red Scare?
That's what Wikipedia said, and it knows everything.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a second.
No.
Sean, what'd you give it?
5.5.
Fuck you.
Bumped up for 0.5 because it's horror. Gets a 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tay?
Yeah, I'm going to start a lot of these films all the same way in this time frame. It blows my mind that when I was a kid in high school, that I went to go see this movie solely because of a trailer. Like there was no word of mouth. Mm-hmm. I wasn't watching. I don't think Robert Ebert reviewed this. So like, it just blows my mind that there's films like this where I'm like, we just saw a trailer and go, all right, yeah, let's go see it.
What else? Good trailer.
It was like, what are we gonna do? It was like, it's like there's no review. There's no Googling that. Mm-hmm. We're just like, all right, well, a bunch of kids in high school just like us. Here we go. Yep. And you were just like throwing money, just like, I hope it doesn't suck. Mm-hmm. And it, like this, but it does play into all the tropes. It made me think of Varsity Blues, Can't Hardly Wait.
Yes.
Like all these, it's like, there's just, everyone has their place and it's just telling a story. And watching it the second time. So actually the first time I remember I was so into going to see it was because my favorite band at the time was like Oasis, and their song, it was like the ending credit.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Past tense?
When it was. Well, I mean, I guess it still is. It was, but it was.
What song is it?
Stay Young. I didn't know when it was supposed to play. So I was like, well, I got to go see it because the song is supposed to be in there. Mm. Yeah, ending credits. So I was like, well, that's great. And I was like, just watch this whole thing for no damn reason. But as like they said, it again, I don't even know if I would call it a horror movie. It's a scary movie, a thriller, scary.
It's a monster movie.
Yeah.
For me,
Monster
Halloween,
movie, yeah.
I will watch like monster movies and horror movies. Like it all gets lumped in.
Monster movies are great. Yeah. And so I liked it. I liked for some reason, I thought every character fit fucking perfectly for where it was. And it also blows my mind that I love telling this. It's like, I love that this script got passed to Robert Rodriguez and he was like, and he probably called Salma Hayek and was like, you doing this, right? And she was like, oh, absolutely. No problem. And
he's like, I don't have to put my foot in.
Yeah.
Do I have to put my toe in it
again, do
now?
and I love, Josh Hartnett. This was like kind of his, because what did he do? 40 days?
40 days and 40 nights. And then he was in.
What's the one where he didn't beat off?
Yeah, 40 days and 40 nights.
Oh,
You have to narrow it down.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't think he beats off in most of his movies.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen the good ones.
At least not on camera.
Yeah.
We don't see before the take starts. So,
But
Trav and I hear beat off, and we immediately knew it was 40 days.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. But I like the movie. I would probably give it a 6.5, 6, because this is a movie I probably can't watch again.
Yeah.
I had seen it. This is probably the third time I've watched it. And I think the last time it was on TV. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And I just let it roll. And I was like, oh, I got to finish it. But damn, this movie's taking forever. It's when I could watch a Jason or Halloween 3 every single year. I could easily do that. This one, I might be maxed out, but I do recommend seeing it. Only, especially if you're in high school. It was like,
here's a question. Did you guys know the twist was going to happen your first time watching it? Because I don't think I didn't know. I didn't see it coming the first time.
No.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I mean,
When she was sneaky and not taking the
Oh yeah.
snarf. What was it called?
Scat.
yeah.
I think
we couldn't see her.
Yeah, scat.
Her
Yeah,
nose,
scat.
her nostrils closed.
she wasn't
Yeah.
snarfing the scat.
She wasn't snarfing the scat, man.
So yeah, I did appreciate that ultimate like flip on the trope of like the virgin blonde turns out to be
You got to do it.
the alien
She was
queen.
that guy all along.
Yeah.
Tay, you mentioned that it was crazy that you went saw this just because you saw a trailer.
Yeah.
You hadn't seen any of the others.
No,
How did you know that Oasis was going to have a song? Was it
That's a
like
good
in a
question.
magazine?
I think it was in a magazine.
Of course, it was
Okay.
in a magazine. That's how people got their information in the
Were
90s.
you on, or like old,
Oh,
well, this was 90.
no.
Were
Like
you on an
Rolling
email
Stone?
mailing list?
No. I knew it was a magazine because I can guarantee you, because I didn't buy magazine.
Yeah, you went to Barnes & Noble and you read it.
100%.
Yep.
Borders.
Oh, I'm
I was like,
sorry.
whoa. May they rest in peace. May they rest in peace. Yeah.
Taylor looking down on his balcony at you.
I wonder what Noel Gallagher's opinion of this movie is. Like, oh shit, isn't it?
I just think they wanted a paycheck. It's like, yeah, it's like, just give me that
I
paycheck.
think if you told him right now that he would know that he was.
No way. No.
No, speaking of scat, I'm sure he was like,
Oh, he was
Hi.
on scat.
Yeah.
He was on that British scat.
yeah.
But it was a good, it is a very fun movie.
So 6'5".
I would say 6.5. Yeah.
I'm with Sean about 5.5.
Yeah.
And for horror, that's not bad. You kind of have to grade.
Well, I bumped it up to a 6.5.
Yeah, you grade on a scale.
I would say put it if you're a horror fan, bump that up to a 6.5.
Yeah.
So it's over the top. It's silly, and that's going to be pretty much my review of the next film that we cover tonight too.
It's a different kind of over the top, though.
It is. It's not quite as clever as it thinks it is, but it is very disposable, good, like 98 minutes, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Disposable is a great descriptor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the Body Snatchers crash into a John Hughes movie. You know,
Ooh. I like
that's what it is. If I was pitching it in 20 seconds, that's how I would do it. It's like the Breakfast Club meets the Body Snatchers.
It takes you 20 seconds to say that?
That'd be maybe 5 seconds. But yeah, I think I wrote people in. Good cast. I would say to have Salma Hayek playing a nurse and not have something a little more revealing and like sexy going on. I'm a little maybe that's another trope they flip
Yeah,
down.
see that
Yeah.
every time one of them got snatched, they all got like super cool and suave.
Yeah, confident.
Yeah,
and
the crazy redhead at the beginning.
Only one of
Like,
them got
she
sexy out
got
of
like
nowhere.
a fancy scarf.
yeah.
The principal,
It was only Famke Janssen that got sexy out of nowhere.
the first lady,
Yeah, Lilith.
the crazy the the one that wanted Guys and Dolls at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had like
theater
afterwards she had poofy hair and she had a scarf.
Yeah, she had a little bob cut. A reasonable bob.
Get it?
That's a band name.
Reasonable bob.
But it was enjoyable in kind of a, disposable kind of a way. It's fun. And so, yeah, like you say, recommend watching it once, check it out, have fun. It's not going to be a go-to, come back to it every Halloween kind of movie. So I would look at it like that. So it's fun. It's good to see people before they really became huge stars like Elijah Wood. So yeah.
He's so tiny.
Yeah. He is. Good casting.
No reason he got cast as a Hobbit.
Yeah. One thing I will bring up, our sponsor, Flaviar.com.
Flaviar.com.
Yeah. We're drinking whiskeys this month. So they have a good portfolio on Flaviar.com. You can sign up for their basically Whiskey of the Month Club, get a new whiskey every month. So yeah, go to Flaviar.com/Cinemavino. And if you buy $100 worth of whiskey, you get a $10 coupon with the promo code Cinemavino10.
Full bottle, full like $7.50 of the month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cinemavino 10 as in 10.
10.
Damn.
Damn. And I'll put that on the screen for you. But yeah, head that way and you can that's a pretty good coupon. You'll get a pretty good discount on whiskey. So
Flaviar.com.
that's a couple of free glasses. So,
Glasses.
yeah, she's going to help himself. But yeah,
Whoa.
this has been another episode of Cinemavino.
It has.
Great movies, only drunker.
Yeah.
So tune in next time. We're going to do, what is it? Salem's Lot. That's our next film.
That is next on the schedule.
We're out of chronology, but the next film for us that we're going to look at tonight is Final Destination. So it's going to be a hootenanny. Whose pick was that? Was that Sean's?
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good pick.
So yeah, we are going to talk about that. So yeah, great movies, only drunker. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Love you.